Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. My name is Aldrine Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend, Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
Gentlemen, it is Friday, 1 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, and it's either Aloha Friday Live Jam or it's the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. And this week, it is the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. Sorry for all the podcast listeners that have to hear that every week, but I just feel like I have to explain. I don't know why.
Or every other week.
Yeah. I mean, every other week, so the people who just listen to just the podcast and don't like participate in the Aloha Friday Live Jam, it's like, oh, he doesn't have to say that every time. But trust me, I do. The people who are watching live, they're like, which one is this? What is it this week? Or what is it this week? I get that. I see that all the time. They're like, what is it this week? Is it Friday Jam or is it like is it podcasts and stuff? And so it's two different audiences too, I think. What do you guys? I don't see the chat or the audience. So what do you think, Kai? Do you think it crosses? I'm sure it crosses over with some people, but
yeah.
Is there like a bunch of uniques in each one?
Yeah. And I think it's funny when we get, I think people from like they might have seen the jam replay.
Yeah.
And then they join the Friday and then they're like, woo, yeah, it's time to jam. Got my uke here and everything. And then we're like, but I think they watch for like a few minutes and they're like, why aren't they playing songs? Like, what's going on?
That's exactly why I have to say it every time in the beginning. It's just so that everybody understands that today we'll be talking and we'll be answering questions and stuff. So if those of you folks are waiting like, oh, is it going to be tropical Hawaiian day or is it going to be drop baby drop? It's like it's neither because we're not going to be playing anything.
We might play some examples.
Like better podcasts play all the time, like a bunch of other ukulele podcasts, they play all the time, and that's probably why they get like lots and lots more listeners and stuff. Kahai, we need to be. We need to be in with the. I know we have. That's true. That's true. We don't want to play too much. We don't want to show people that like. We're not that great. No, I enjoy a bunch of different like ukulele podcasts and stuff, and all of them are kind of different. And just like I've said before, I kind of like the tone of this podcast. It's pretty casual, right? Just kicking back, relaxing, hanging out with my two friends over here. But welcome to the Ukulele on the Ground podcast. We talk ukulele, we answer any and all of your ukulele questions, especially the ones regarding Ukulele Underground, which is the website that we teach how to play the ukulele on. So if you guys want to learn how to play the ukulele, ukuleleunderground.com. I should always plug that in like right in the beginning, right? So if people are listening for the first time, they're like, oh, they're like the Ukulele Underground guys. That's right. That's me playing, playing ukulele for Kahea Hamakua. Like, that's the guy who plays ukulele for Kahea.
Yeah.
Can you please give her can you
get Kahea one of these weeks?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. What is she doing right now? Maybe. Maybe get more viewers that way,
Yeah.
I don't know, but she's in high demand. I actually just talked to Kaniho the other day about like, hey, once again, if I didn't tell you that time, but people are interested in like a recording of her Aloha Oe.
Yeah.
And he said, I quote, that's probably going to be the only recording of Aloha Oe that she'll ever do. I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
But people are interested in her putting out an album.
Yeah, some kind of, that's what I told him. Like, dude, you gotta get her to sing something, like, and that's actually how how I met her, and I think how they met. They used to play in a band together. Mm-hmm. Like she's from a different island. I don't know if I should say too much, but she's from a different island. She moved here, and when she first moved here, she was Kaniho was playing bass for this band, and she was like one of the lead singers, if not the lead singer of that band that he was playing for. And then I had like a birthday, we had a cookout and stuff, and she was just there one week. I'm like, all right, on, and I just every single birthday afterwards,
she's been there.
She's been there. So I'm like, oh, this chick is here to stay.
I think, if people don't know, Kahea and Kaniho are the people playing with you in the Aloha
Oe. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, Aloha Oe. So, since we answer any and all questions here on the podcast, Kahai will give me the questions that we've gotten via email, via comments, via live chat, or whatever. If you guys want to ask questions, now's the time. We are live, so why don't you guys go ahead and type in your questions, or, just ask us anything. It doesn't even have to be about ukulele, right, Kahai? We'll answer any and all, right?
Yeah.
Last time we do like a love line last time?
We
Who gave
questioned.
relationship advice?
Yeah, we thought about it. So.
Yeah. See, Kahai can give the single guys advice. Aaron can give the guys with girlfriends advice, and I'll give the marriage advice. I'm married, you know? Right? We have 3 different perspectives in this room. It's fun. We should do that again. But anyway, Kahai, first question, please.
We had a question from last week, but why don't we get some questions from the chat first?
Sure.
Just easy questions. Andre asked, Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse?
I was always a Bugs Bunny guy.
Yeah.
I was always a Bugs Bunny guy. You know, like I always loved Bugs Bunny, and I was a big fan of his antics. I was a Looney Tunes dude. I don't know. Next question.
not Tiny Toons.
Yeah, Buster Bunny and Babs. See, I'm a fan.
Jenny asked, how many ukes do you own?
Ooh, too many. I don't know the exact number. I want to say more than 30 at this point, like kind of a lot. Most of them are my parents' house. that I just stash it over there, and because my wife don't really want to look at them anymore.
And so, various sizes.
Yeah, various sizes, various companies, and it's kind of cool. I'm a collector. I mean, you know, like I've always told people that, sure, like I love Kanilea ukuleles. Ukulele on the ground is now, you know, Kanilea ukulele, but at the same time, like I just love ukes. I'm a big uke fan, so I've collected a bunch of ukes over the years. I have ukuleles from Kamaka, from Anue Nue. I have ukuleles from Taylor, ukuleles from Martin, and yeah, a bunch of other stuff. So I even have some ukuleles made in the Philippines from like a luthier there. So I have a really cool collection of nice ukuleles, and also like nice quirky ones too. I have like little tiny ukes that's from iUke that my daughter has 2 of them, so that counts as ukulele, right? They play chords on there, right? I have an Ellie uke. Too many. My mom just keeps it in my sister's old room. Like, we just stash it in that room. So, but most of the ukuleles that I own, that I play actively still, are at my house on the walls and stuff, and I like to look at them. But my wife's like, okay, cool, you can occupy this wall and that wall, and that's it. But I'm like, I have enough ukes to cover the house, lady. I'll look at all of them, right, Guy? Because why own them? You can't see them and play them.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, tying into Yvette asked, do all your ukuleles have humidifiers?
No. Next question.
Well, the thing is, Hawaii is really humid.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need a humidifier. It keeps it at a good humidity. It's not like too much. Sometimes it can be too much humidity, but it's not like enough periods of time that it would make a difference. On the ukulele, it's actually a great place for ukes. So no need.
I think our friend Mike was even saying that because it's so humid, he needed it to be not humid, and he put a bag,
silica gel,
and a bunch of silica gel with a guitar or something that he was fixing. So
like a dehumidifier.
Yeah.
But that's kind of tying in. I was gonna say like it's easy for us to just like hang ukes or leave ukes around because we have like the right humidity and where we don't really need to put it back in the case.
Yeah, but I do have a 4-year-old at home, and she was once like a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. So it's not like I can just leave them laying around and stuff, because she really likes to play. So unless like I have her like kind of monitored when I give her the ukulele and she's playing it in front of me, I actually don't like to just leave my ukes like laying around. That's why they're on the walls, so that they're away from my kids' reach. But when, I don't know, sometimes like when I just put my guitar down or something, that she knows like where I stashed the picks, like between like the pick guards on the electric guitar or whatever, or like right here, and she'll just wail at the guitars that I leave laying around. I'm like, that was my bad. So I'll hear from the other room, like I'll put it down, step out to the other room, and I'm like, kid got into the guitar again.
Yeah, my dad, I've told this story before. My dad had a Martin Tipple on the kitchen table, and I think we came home and I had the keys like I was really small. I don't even remember this. And he said I just threw the keys onto the table and it landed on the tip and like scratched it. And so he's like, oh, that was like his like,
my bad. But...
oh, I have a kid. I gotta put away my instruments.
Yeah. So all the parents that are watching right now, they're like, oh yeah, I get it, because I did not get it. Like I had cousins like growing up that that were a lot younger than me that I had to watch and stuff, and I have a younger sister, but it's just not the same like as when you have your own kid laying around you're responsible for.
Yeah.
So
I think if you're gonna leave out an instrument, leave one that's like you're not too worried about getting banged up. So.
Yeah. Next.
Last week somebody left a comment on our podcast or the week before, and they said, I refurbished the ukulele and I can't get the tuning correct. The strings keep slipping. What am I doing wrong?
Ooh. Refurbished ukulele. Wait, they did it?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Did that person have like prior experience to like to restoring an ukulele or musical instruments in general? Because that's really finicky. Like just a lot of people like who've had like tons and tons and tons of experience with woodworking and with building stuff, like still have a hard time like building ukuleles. I know a guy who's who's built stuff for decades and still like trying to perfect his his craft on building ukuleles. So it's not like something that
you can just pick up.
And if you get lucky you can and stuff, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something like that happens. Yeah. So in that case, with that said, there's many things that it could be. One, I mean, it's definitely going to be some kind of tuner issue, of course. Make sure that the machine for the tuners are nice and tight. Like if they're placed correctly. Maybe I shouldn't say nice and tight, but make sure they're placed correctly. So if you have gear tuners, for example, sometimes the slip comes from this big one right here that's not tightened. So make sure to tighten that. Also, there's like this screw right here that's also pretty important. And yeah, so sometimes some of those are a little bit loose. So see if you can tighten that up and see if that works. Because sometimes when you tune it and like it slides back down, if it's like almost immediately, then that means it's it is just a looseness in some of the screws. But if it's something like it stays in tune for like a good 10-15 minutes and then it goes off, it might just be like a string stretching thing. So there's lots and lots and lots of different variables that it could be. But I would suggest checking the gear, and then and if that's okay, it's probably just a string thing. Like if it just needs to stretch. But it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like you would know that if it was like a string thing. So I would check the machines. If not, then maybe you might have a faulty tuning peg or tuning machine or whatever. You might just maybe getting like a good set of tuning pegs or tuning machines might do the job. So you could get some at StuMac, and I'm sure you know that also. What is StuMac, Kahai? What is that short for?
Stuart
McDonald.
Stu McDonald. No,
I thought it was Stuart Macaroni and Cheese.
Yeah, so there's lots of cool like little parts and stuff there. So if you need to replace it, they're not expensive. I think if you're going for bougie like tuners, yes, they can be like $200-$300 whatever. But you could probably get like a nice set of tuners for like $20-$50.
Yeah, and if you're not sure, because like the holes that the tuning pegs slip into are different sizes too.
Yeah.
So even then, I mean, if you're refurbishing an ukulele, you should have like those kind of tools. So if it's if it's something that doesn't fit, you can just like make the hole bigger.
Yeah, but then that's the thing,
I know. The more you mess with it, the more like mistakes like that can be. But
yeah, I was gonna say that if you're not sure about those kinds of things, maybe just take it into a shop, and if you still want to do it, ask them like what they would suggest, like what sizes or what if they can give you any advice or help.
But what I'm getting at is don't get discouraged. Like I said, people who have been woodworking or working with building stuff for decades still have hard time building tiny little ukuleles because every little part needs to work in order for it to be to be a good uke. So don't feel bad. Keep going if that's the case. If you enjoy it, I'd suggest keep going. Let us know.
We had I'm sure they don't mind me saying this. Chris and Sue, like Sue has like a baritone that's like I think from the 30s or something, and she wanted to switch out her tuners, you know. And I said like she said, oh, can we just take a drill and just go and like widen the holes? And I'm like, oh, probably, but like again, like with a instrument like that is that old, is like, and you probably want it to be playable and you want it to be nice, I would just take it to a luthier, right? Because hopefully they'll try and do like a good job to make sure that they're not gonna widen the holes too much or like add any extra, damage or whatever to the instrument.
Yeah, but you got guys like Arvin that just do it for fun and they make some like incredible stuff.
Like,
you know,
if you
have to weigh. Yeah.
If you don't mind, like the tinkering with that ukulele, then go for it. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that like you would ideally be able to just like get a replacement tuner if that's the problem.
Yeah.
And then just be able to replace it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is that if the hole isn't wide enough, then you can widen it, but you can't unwiden it.
Filler.
I mean that's an option, but it's just not the best option, right?
No.
So
no.
And like a good luthier or like you said, right? Like they have tools specific for that. It's not just like I got a power drill, I'm just gonna go for it, right?
It's start drilling.
Yeah.
Okay. Not too much of a problem. Yeah, so like I'm assuming that if they're having trouble with the tuners, if that's the what's slipping, then they probably remove the tuners first and then sand it down if that was part of the refurbishing.
Yeah.
And then replace the tuners.
And it just doesn't fit as well as they used to.
Yeah. Yeah. And that could be just because maybe you sanded on the inside of the hole and so
it's a lot of things and all those measurements are like really calculated, especially if it's like a mass-produced ukulele. Like there's the machines that do all those things and it has to be that that width or whatever. There's lots of things that it can be, but we wish you luck. Like check out the tuner. If you have to get a new set, get a new set, but just try to just tighten it up first, like see, and I'm sure you did that and stuff, but I don't know. That's just my first go-to. I'm like, okay, because I've had tons of ukulele, even like ukuleles from like say ABC store and stuff that I've taken and it's like you can't tune it and I've just tightened it up and it's all good. It works.
Yeah.
So we're both looking down in that direction at that tiny little uke there. Yeah. So all right, Kai, next question.
Richard said, "What musical group, Hawaiian or other influenced the ukulele underground group?"
Ooh, what Hawaiian groups?
Musical group,
like
and
Hawaiian.
I think they're
musical
saying
groups.
like Hawaiian or any other.
I mean,
it's pretty
Kyle
obvious.
Creative Boys. Like that's a huge one. Pure Heart is another big one. There's tons. I mean, but those two are the biggest. There's definitely others. Cologne, which is Pure Heart 2, basically. There's also great uke players, not necessarily groups and stuff. Uke players like I like Herb Alta Jr. I don't know if we've done G minor fleas here, but I'm a big fan of that song. I'm a big fan of like of course Jake and James Hill and all those guys. But I've been, or the three of us have been like inspired by so many groups in the past and individual artists and stuff. I like Manao Company. I like Ekolu. I like who else? Let's see. Last week we did an Ehukai song, like Sean Nawal. I like, of course, Israel Kamaka Viva Ole. That's just one of those, like, if you live in Hawaii and you tell someone you don't like Israel Kamaka Viva Ole, you better be able to defend yourself. You better be able to show your work. As in, like, why not?
Yeah.
And
you
don't like good things.
And even if you don't like really
Yeah.
actively listen to his music, you still respect him.
Yes.
As
yes.
far as his
Yes.
impact on Hawaiian music.
And then like others like Peter Moon is also a huge influence because they influenced Ka'au Crater Boys, so that led me out to seek the group Sunday Manoa,
Yeah.
that Peter Moon played for,
And the Peter Moon Band.
and Peter Moon Band for Kalapana, like Sicilian Capono. There's just so much that inspired Ukulele Underground. The way we or the way that at least I have kind of approached Ukulele Underground, it's like I want to give you the most like genuine experience of what it's like to like grow up in Hawaii and learning these songs that we grew up with and learning how to play the ukulele, like how you would learn it here. Like if we don't necessarily concentrate on a lot of say like what like what strumming patterns, like what kind of music theory things that's onto the chords or onto the notes and stuff. Someone just goes, here, the chords are G, C, D, E minor, and you just strum it like this. Okay, everybody, let's just try to do it. And somebody will show you the picking and stuff. It's really the most like genuine, way to learn the ukulele around the islands. It's the same kind of, same vibe, same feel. That's the vibe that we've always gone for. So a lot of the times people are like, I don't know this song, or I didn't know that, or whatever, because these are songs that we grew up with here in Hawaii. So we're giving you that, at least trying to give you that same kind of experience.
I think if anything, we like translated it a little bit. Where it's like we don't use like pidgin as much, and it's not just
course,
like
of
this chord. Just play this chord.
Just play on that is.
And
Just
it's
put
like,
your finger right there.
Uncle, what chord is this? And
Yeah.
they'll be, I don't know. You just hold them like this. Just hold them like this, and
This
you play.
one.
This one?
It sounds like that.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like on G, but it's at the top right here. Like your pointer fingers on the G.
And it's like
Like that.
I've even had like experiences where it's like, oh, you mean like a D minor, right? Or like, oh, that's like a diminished chord or whatever. And they're like, whatever. just play them. Just play them.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
when I was playing jazz with Mike and Auntie Rhoda and that whole group and stuff that I got into, like their guitar player, like same thing. I mean, he knew how to play, but it's not like he knew exactly what the music theory were to those chords. And I'm like, Uncle, what is that? It's like, I don't know. It's this one right here.
Yeah.
Like, so then I would have to look at his fingers like, okay, he's playing a whatever note,
Yeah,
this note,
what
this note, this
notes?
note. I'm like, so what is that on my ukulele? This note, this note, and this note. I'm like, okay, cool. It's either I see a new way that a guitar player holds that chord, or I just like figure out a whole entirely new chord on the ukulele that I'm like, oh, that sounds awesome. So I learned a lot from that, and my playing actually got a whole lot better from jamming with those guys. I've been incorporating a lot more of those chords in my playing because I don't think I know everything about any one particular ukulele thing. I think I'm a jack of all trades, and I think that's what qualifies me as a teacher. Like I've seen, heard, and have tried all different kinds of styles, and I think I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none. That's what it was. Master of none. Kahai. Oh, I keep putting it in the wrong there. And a master of none.
Master of your own style.
Yeah, definitely. I'm the best at playing Aldrine Guerrero songs. The best guy. Well, I don't know. Actually, I've seen.
You've seen Feng Yi.
I've seen Feng Yi play. Play some of my stuff. I've seen like Rio play some of my stuff, and I'm like, man, maybe I'm not like the best at playing Aldrine Guerrero songs.
Yes. You're the best at coming up with Aldrine Guerrero songs.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm the best at making Aldrine Guerrero songs. I might not be the best at playing them and stuff, but I definitely try my best.
You have no regrets.
Yeah, I have no regrets. I try my best. There's no regrets. I love this show. Okay, next.
Andre asked, what is the best color for a ukulele?
Oh, I mean, wood. I guess I don't know. That's subjective. It's a very like. It's just purely aesthetic, right? So if you're asking for my opinion, I like, I don't know, the like rosewoods, like for back and sides, they just have like a really like classic look to it. Like I grew up around guitars and stuff, and that that's just all you would see, with guitars and like rows of backs and stuff. I also like tobacco sunburst on instruments. I'm a huge fan of that. I've been trying to convince Joe Souza to build me a sunburst ukulele. That ukulele that I use now, the spruce top and stuff, supposed to be a tobacco sunburst. This is why it took so long to build that particular ukulele. But there's just a bunch of different difficulties that we ran into creating sunburst ukuleles specifically with the materials. So it didn't work, but we're trying. I want to bring the stained, or not necessarily because they're doing stained, but like sunburst ukuleles to Kahea.
Haven't they done like a
They've done
limited
stains. Yeah.
sunburst?
I don't think so. It's all
No?
stains,
Okay.
like stained woods, which let's see. I keep wanting to say Ukepa, but it's not Ukepa. The youngest. Oh, Kahea.
Yeah.
Like Kahea has been doing some amazing stain work. So if you guys see like those blue ukuleles,
Yeah.
those green ukes and stuff that they've been doing, it's Kahea, and is like he's super artistic. Love the stuff that he's been coming out with. Yeah. So Kahea, I don't know if you want to make another one for. You're like really good at it. So. You're like really good. Really good. Yes, Kahai.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's why you get ukuleles, right? It's like, oh, you're so good. Like, I wish I could see for myself how good your
could
stained
have
ukulele
one of your
is.
good ukes.
Yeah.
We talked about like how to get a sponsorship and stuff. Maybe that's one way, like
Yeah.
go to a luthier, like, I really like your stuff. I like your stuff a lot. No.
Okay.
All right, next.
Marima asked, how do I practice 16th notes?
With a metronome. I mean, honestly, the easiest way would be a metronome, and just do it in different segments. I think we've talked about this before in a private lesson between you and I. Segments. Do it like 1, 2, 3, 4. Just these are quarter notes, and then just kind of see how that feels, and see if you can get like a metronome that'll count like the quarter note, like 2, 3, 4, and see if you can like land your down strums. So 1. Even if you want to add accents to that, that might be even better. Do 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm like adding accent by strumming with all 4 fingers like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you get to the 8th notes, because all you're doing is you're adding up strums, because that means 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So here's the quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. Then you just double time it. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. See how my hand moves exactly the same speed. I'm just kind of hitting the up strums on the way up. That's all. And so 16th notes. So now that you got that that metronome running, and it's giving you that. So all you have to do is 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and you still want to add those accents to the numbers, the 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. And it's easier also if you say the rhythm sounds of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the. That's how I was taught to do 16th notes, is to just say the rhythm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So if you say it and then say it to say like a metronome, it'll definitely help out a lot. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you say 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and so it's kind of like keep slicing that pie up by multiplying by 2 every single time. So when you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, that's still there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the letter E, or the E sound, comes between the number and the and. So 1E and then on the way down So 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and Okay, so the numbers are still there at 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, 2E and 3, 4. Right, so that's still there. What is it like on 101 or 102, Kahai, that we taught the kind of rhythm breakdown and stuff? Because I know we've done that before. Or is that like on strumming? Like we did a strumming
I'm not sure.
workshop. Because I know we've done that. Where like I've showed the here's quarter note 1, 2, 3, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I like
think
wrote
that's
it down and
101.
stuff. Ukulele 101?
We
Yeah.
included it in 101.
Somewhere. It's on one of those. But that's really it. It really helps if you say it because when you say it in beat and then try to sync up your hand to what you're saying, it definitely helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marima says that she has her metronome set to 16th whole notes, but for like practices like this, you really want like
Just a quarter.
quarter
just a
notes.
quarter.
And
Because you want to just end in that quarter.
I don't know if you
land.
have it set because of a specific song or something, but even like with that song, you probably want to set it to quarter notes. It's hard to keep time with whole notes and then to subdivide that into something as complicated as 16 notes. So just even if it like the sheet music or whatever says like quarter note equals this for metronome, then or like whole note equals this or whatever, try and figure out what that would be as a quarter note metronome and set it to that,
Yeah. So next question. That was a good one, Marimo. Good job.
Yeah. Let me see. Chana asks, what do you think about Donner tenor ukuleles?
Never played them, so I'm sorry. I don't have I don't want to say like, oh, I heard that. I haven't even heard them. Like I've been home for so long during this whole pandemic. If there's a new ukulele that's coming out and stuff, and we haven't attended NAMM in so long, so we're very, very, very behind on ukuleles that are coming out or ukuleles that have come out in just even the last 3 years and stuff. There's like tons of ukulele brands that we used to see back in the day, like just blow up in the past like 4 or 5 years or whatever. So I can't with a good conscience like make a comment about this only because like I don't know. I don't want to give anybody the wrong idea. So I'm just gonna say
no experience.
No
with
experience. Nah, I don't.
I think
Have you played Donner?
Donner might be one of those ukulele brands that ranks high on Amazon.
Oh, is that why?
So that might be
Oh,
I think so,
is
yeah.
that like one of those like $50 ukulele or like $100 ukuleles that come with like the
the
kit
whole
or
package,
whatever?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. In that case, once again, I'm gonna preface this with that. I never played one of these. Okay, but really, like if it tunes, I think we've have that also somewhere on ukulele on the ground where like if it tunes, if it's in tune, if you can tune it, if it stays in tune all throughout the frets or relatively in tune, if if it sounds decent or something, we have like a guideline or like if it's okay. Because if it's like a $50-$100 ukulele, there's not a lot of expectations, like you can't expect it to sound like $1,000 ukulele, $500 ukulele and stuff. Like at that price point, you just want a ukulele that works. Okay, so I'm not commenting anything on Donner Ukes, but I can comment on beginner ukuleles of that price point. I think you should focus on if it's playable, if it'll stay in tune, or if it's something decent. Because definitely like a better sounding instrument will make you play more. But there's no comparison to playing an instrument that stays in tune versus an ukulele that doesn't stay in tune. And
that's
a lot of
like priority one
yes,
for like a
yes.
student level
So,
instrument.
if you're looking at ukuleles in that price range, like I wouldn't be so concentrating so much on like the sound and stuff like that because and that sound will get better as you become a better player. So it's not like and I'm guessing if you're looking for an ukulele of that price range, you're just kind of starting out or you played before and stuff and you want to like go back into it or something. So just concentrate on kind of like getting the playing part all good. Just have fun with the with the instrument, and from there, that's when you can do like intensive like research on like nice $500 ukuleles perhaps. Like it doesn't have to be like a custom made $5,000 or $10,000 ukulele or whatever. It can just be like a nice uke that you'll be happy with that'll last a long time. But if it's a ukulele that's like $100 or below, then it's something that you want to grow with, and then eventually pass that on to somebody who's interested in ukulele as well, because that's what like the $100 ukes have become with me. Like I've given a bunch away so that like someone else can experience that same experience, and they're not complaining about how it sounds, I guess. But yeah, priority number one, make sure it stays in tune.
Yeah, and then you'll be able to learn on it.
Yeah.
And the better that you get at playing, the better any ukulele that you play will
play
sound.
after that. Exactly.
Yeah. It's hard, right? Because there's a lot of these brands that sell these ukuleles for $50 on Amazon and stuff. And that is like the biggest thing is like we don't know if they actually do stay in tune, like how good their tuners are.
Yeah, but they come with tuners.
The mechanical
And a polished cloth.
Polished cloth, guy. But I don't know. I'm gonna give a plug to my friends over at like Hawaii Music Supply. If you get like an ukulele, say not from Amazon but a reputable source like Hawaii Music Supply or MIM or something, like those guys, they'll definitely make sure that like the ukulele like first priority is set up correctly. Like it plays well, plays easy, and all that good stuff. But once again, I can't really say anything about Donner Ukes because I've never played them, but I have had experiences, good and bad, with $100 and below dollars ukulele.
That's why we always say like try and go out to your local music shop.
Yeah, support your local music shop. Just like I go and I see Mike all the time.
Because if you don't, you can know nothing about music and you can like not know what you're really looking for. At least like try and grab a uke and like strum it. And like keep strumming it for like maybe a few minutes and just see if like it starts to sound any different as you strum on or anything. You can at least check if it'll stay in tune that way, kind of, and hopefully it will. So
yeah, great question though. Yes.
I was you're mentioning stores, but also our store. If you get from our store.
Oh yeah. We're also reputable. We have, not sub $100 ukuleles. We have like sub $200 ukuleles. And that's like guaranteed will be like a really good ukulele. To start out with and stuff. We have Islander ukuleles, which we have one back there. There's a reason why we have one back there. We think it's good. We believe in it. I think it's good to start out with. You can get a tenor for like like $150, $200.
$140.
Right. It's good stuff.
The 140 tenor. It's like Planet Chi.
Yeah. Oh, sick. That's cool. Yeah.
So it comes with like basically the things that we listed too before, where it comes with a tuner, polishing cloth.
Yeah. So make sure you check out shop.ukuleontheground.com. Yeah, I don't know. I am still getting used to the fact that like we have a shop now. That I'm like, oh yeah, go check out like the Hawaii Music Supply guys or whatever. Like they're great. They're awesome.
In the past, we did try selling ukuleles at one point in the past, but for the most part of Ukulele Undergrounds. For the majority of our existence, we haven't sold ukuleles. We've just taught people how to play.
Yeah. And so we have we have Islanders, we have Kuleles on our shop. We those are the brands that we that we definitely believe in. So, and not saying that like any other brand like we don't believe. It's just one of those we love Kuleles ukuleles and all the ukes that they make, and we're huge fans. That's just the bottom line. We're like we love them, and I've been playing them for over a decade now, and I would say that I'm pretty experienced with Kuleles ukes, right, Kahai?
Yeah, Kuleles, and like I own an Islander, and I love an Islander, so yeah, they're great. Yeah. Junko said, "I'm still a beginner, and I can't play the ukulele while singing. Please tell me what to do."
Singing advice. You just need to make that connection between like, like talking or moving this muscle, like in throat and stuff, and moving your hands. So what I would suggest to do is don't worry about the like the chords and stuff for now. Like listen to your favorite song, for example, that you know how to sing along to and stuff. So I don't know, and just start to see if you can find the beat with your right hand. Just start to strum, like I won't hesitate no more, no more. Because if you take this away, that's part of your brain that you would be using, that you're just like, okay, cool, let me delegate that still like to the the connection of like the vocals to the hand and stuff. So if you start out with that and just and do it for like a week, 2 weeks, or however long it takes for you to just be comfortable with moving your hand. Or you don't even have to sing. Like if you can talk and see if you can keep a steady rhythm, like get a metronome and see if you can do the same practice that Maram was doing, find the 8 at 16 notes, a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E, and I can still talk to Kahai while doing this, da da da. So if you can make the connection between those two things, like saying things, singing things, and moving your hand at the same time, and then you kind of just want to do that same thing, but just maybe add a chord, just one chord. So I can still talk to Kahai while I'm keeping a steady 16th beat, and that's something that you want to do first. A lot of people just jump into songs and stuff, but there's some people who can't, and I think if you're forcing yourself to just kind of come on, just do it, other people can or whatever, it's just it doesn't work like that for everyone. So for you and for a bunch of people, I would suggest just playing drums first. That's basically like playing drums and trying to sing at the same time. Drums with one hand drums, or even just see if you can do this, like just snap. If you don't have your ukulele, see if you can tap on something while singing. That's just keeping in rhythm, because that's really all your right hand is doing. It's just making rhythm. All the chords and notes are with your left hand. So if you can get your right hand staying in rhythm, all you have to do is play the right chords afterwards. Do one thing at a time instead of trying to do 3 things, like sing and play the chords and strum and remember 4 things, remember lyrics. I don't know. There's so much things you're trying to juggle. Just juggle a little bit.
Yeah, you said there's some people who just jump right into it.
Yeah,
and who can do it. And but it's those people
talented
too.
People.
They're probably if they're singing, they're singers. And then if they can do it, they probably have some experience of keeping time, or whether they really know it or not. And that's a skill that, is not encouraged in the music learning, but it's really important to be able to know okay, this is the beat, to just tap your foot or bob your head or feel the beat of music. So if you've never done that before, that, just practice that. Try and get that first.
Yeah. And then recognize that usually with the lyrics, the certain syllables will sync up with certain beats. So find the main beat and then realize what syllables line up with that beat.
Yeah.
So,
I won't hesitate no more.
Yeah.
No more.
What was because I remember we were talking with Mike Hine. Do you remember what he said?
I don't know.
Yeah, because he said that
there's a song.
He was trying to learn how to sing and play at the same time, and there was one particular song.
I forget. Yeah.
We should ask him what song that was, because it was really simple like that, where it was obvious that there were certain beats where it synced up with a certain syllable. And because it was easy, he was able to do that. So find a song that's simple like that, and then where it's obvious that a downstrum equals that syllable.
Lyric.
Yeah. And then just work on simple songs like that, or even if it was even really simple songs like row your boat. There's you can do something like that, and once you get that connection between your vocal and your hand, then other more complicated things will come.
Yeah. I think the hard part that people have, or adults have, with learning like this is you're not gonna sound good. When you're trying to figure this out.
That's
and
the
it's
other
fine.
thing.
But then again, who sounds good when they're first learning anything? A musical thing.
And that's I read a quote recently where it said embarrassment is your toll for getting into something. Like you have to, when you start off, right, you kind of have to go through that awkward period where it's like, I'm not good at this.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not, and that's where a lot of adults, like, they're like, I should be good at this right from the beginning, but it's
Yeah.
like, no, you're not gonna be good. So
Yeah. I guess that's the advantage that kids have
Yeah.
is because
Yeah,
they don't
'cause
have
they
any
just-
preconceptions.
Right.
They don't feel like they're like really good at any one thing outside of what they're trying to learn. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm just doing it.
Do it.
Yeah. But then adults have like, oh yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a professional in my own field
Yeah.
and like I should be better at this. But it's like, no, you're
I'm an
you're
adult.
still
Yeah.
a baby at
I-
learning how to do something.
yeah, I brought that up because, like you said, row your boat, right? And we've had like people like we're teaching, and they're like, I don't want to learn that baby song,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's like,
Flip the table.
Next.
Yeah.
it's like,
Let's
well,
get to island style already.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, you gotta
You know?
start off with that.
Yeah.
For why do I think that Mike Hine, it was like something like Melt With You or something, a song like that.
Yeah, forget what
Yeah.
song it was.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. Let me see.
Good question. Singing and playing, tough for a lot of people. It was tough for me in the beginning and stuff, but same thing. Yeah, like I guess I wasn't embarrassed because all the other kids were singing and playing. So if I just tried to do it, and then just the more that I did it,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I wasn't one of those people that got it the first time.
Yeah, I think that is another thing too that adults, they always
Yeah.
want to compare themselves, right, with
yeah,
somebody else.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Angie said, do you get squeaks from the left hand moving against the neck or the right hand picking? How can I prevent the distracting noise when I play?
That just happens sometimes. You either have like dry strings. I know like Aquila, the regular like Nalgut strings are more on the drier side, so it can squeak and stuff. I have
you have
Aquilas
moist
on mine, or you
hands.
have you
Yeah.
have moist hands. You know, like so. There's a bunch of different things that can be that can be happening. So, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, and yeah, it's pretty common. So don't worry about it. But if you have if it's like, because I'm trying to think like what would be the worst like squeak sound, like, and where would that come from? Like, I think it would just be the dry strings in general. The only times I've really heard like squeaky strings, because this one's not squeaky. Or I don't know, like it just puts it's gross and stuff, but sometimes it puts some sweat into, or if you just have a little bit of moisture on the strings, that makes it a little bit better, or not squeak as much, because it shouldn't be squeaking unless you have dry strings or dry hands or whatever. So
No, because like sometimes I've noticed like if you just wash your hands
Yeah.
and it's still wet,
Oh,
and then
okay, yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
if
yeah.
you brush
If you
the
go-
strings, it'll just sync up with the
yeah,
vibration.
so I guess check your hands. Like really, it's not like a bad thing though. It's not the ukulele that's doing it. I don't think.
Yeah, I would hope not.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say too is like if you're playing a logi, right? The logi has like a tendency to like
That's true.
make kind of a squeaky sound when you slide.
If
up
it's
and
like a
down the-
wound
If it's
logi,
a
yeah,
wound
if it's a
string, yeah.
wound logi, that happens.
So
And that's
maybe-
also fine.
Yeah, maybe that's what you're hearing. And if you don't like that sound, but you want to play a logi, there's unwound logis too.
Yeah. I was now that we brought that up, I was young, and I saw like Herb Alter Jr. play at the mall, and I remember paying attention to that. I was like, dude has like the low G string and stuff. And in his recordings, you could barely hear any squeak and whatever. And back then, I had the low, like the aluminum C string, the wound C string.
Yeah.
And like that just, like it was just so squeaky, and it would like break all the time and
Yeah,
stuff. Like it's
yeah.
got to be a better way, But when I watched him live, like you could hear a little bit, like, but he was, of course he's a professional. He's really good and stuff. But I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like it happens to everybody, like it's super normal. Don't worry
It's
about it.
Unavoidable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then usually like if you're just playing chords, your hand kind of stays in the same place, so it's
Yeah,
not like you're
yeah.
moving your hand too much.
But then they did mention like picking and stuff like that. So I'm guessing it's like a lot of fast movements with maybe dry strings,
Yeah,
dry hands.
yeah.
or
So
too
if you're
moist.
moving from one position to another,
Yeah.
sometimes it'll happen.
Yeah,
But
and it's fine. It's fine.
but yeah,
It just-
but then you can also kind of adapt when you move, like
Yeah.
how you move your hand.
because I mean, you don't want to press too hard. Maybe you're pressing too hard, and you're like
Yeah.
you're sliding it and stuff, and so that's carrying over. So I don't know,
I think like first and
really-
foremost, like try and change your strings or try an ukulele with a different set of strings, because like you also if it's like the strings that are making the squeak, right? It's like you don't want to be like I gotta change how I play everything so I don't make these squeaks. It's like
That's true.
yeah, just change your strings. It's the easiest way.
Yeah. Okay. Next.
Yeah. Andre said, I got a Guitalele as a present. Do you think it's more of a guitar or a ukulele?
It's both. It's Guitalele. It's I mean, I think we've had this conversation before. It's definitely both. Like I want to say it's both. A guitalele, you can, if you're a guitar player, it's a great transition to playing ukulele or to hearing the ukulele tones of it being 2.5 steps higher. Okay, so it's like, and for those people who don't know, guitalele is 6-string ukulele that is not double, like how other 6-string ukuleles can be. It's a strict 6-string ukulele. It's your typical like A, E, C, G, and then at the top there you have, I believe, I don't know, D? No, not D. Come on. It's A,
And
A,
A.
D, G, C, E, A.
Yeah.
So I was right. See, I don't know why I doubt myself sometimes, man. So for those of you folks who have never played one, it really is kind of because you can play guitar chords and stuff, like straight up guitar chords on it, So if you're a guitar player going over to ukulele, it's a great way to transition. But if you're an ukulele player, you're gonna have to learn how to play full chords. So it's a little bit
guitar
more
chords.
full guitar chords. Yeah, it's a little bit more challenging if you're coming from an ukulele background. But you will be rewarded because it sounds more full because the lower notes definitely add a lot more depth into the playing. But there's a lot of strumming techniques and other techniques that will not work with a GL6 that you can do on a regular 4-string ukulele. It's its own thing. I'll just say that it's in its own lane. Kind of like how baritones are in its own lane. It is a tenor guitar, and a baritone ukulele at the same time. So GL6, same thing. It's like a guitar and an ukulele at the same time. It's its own thing. It's neither a guitar, or an ukulele, and it is. It's in its own lane.
It's neither and both.
Yes, at the same time. Kind of. Like honestly, it's what it is.
Yeah.
We have one here. Right?
Yeah, we do.
So
I never got used to it
Oh,
because I play guitar, and then I have two modes of thinking. Like I think in ukulele or I think in guitar, and then when you have a guitalele, it's like which one do I think in? It's sort of like switching languages.
Yeah.
I guess some people can speak both. Like if you have two people that speak both languages, then they can speak to each other in a mix of the two. But I'd have trouble like if I'm speaking pidgin, then I'm speaking pidgin.
I guess so.
If I'm speaking straight English, then
I speak English and Filipino, my mom and stuff.
Yeah,
and sometimes
that's why.
I can switch it back.
So some people have an easier time using it, and some people just can't. I'm one who can't.
So this is what a GL6. GL6 is. And a guitalele. So A, E, C, and then here's a G, and here's the D, and here's a low A. So that should be in tune. I didn't tune it that well.
Yeah.
But it'll.
I don't think that Guitalele has been tuned in a while, so. Tuned, or I think that those strings
played.
have been,
Yeah. And that's like the original strings that came with it, and we never did change it. But
Yes.
it's
It's not bad.
yeah. So if you're
So you could play like full guitar chords on it. Like if for all of you players who play guitar, like a G chord, which is actually a C chord on the guitalele.
yeah, and that's the thing too, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Confusing. I'm not smart enough to.
Two transfers on the horn.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like that, like whenever I play Guitalele, Baritone, or any of those like in between instruments, it's kind of like I have to just turn off my brain and like not just kind of go on like this
Like
sounds
autopilot.
right.
Yeah.
I'm kind of playing these patterns and these sound right. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then
love-
that's the
love
thing
this
too,
thing.
is that if you want to learn how to play ukulele, don't let somebody convince you. Like if you've played
Yeah, they're
guitar
like,
before,
Yeah, should try a GL6, and it's not the same. It's
Yeah.
not. It's just not. It is,
Yeah.
but it's
If
also
you-
not.
if
That's the
you-
part where it's like it's not.
yeah, if you genuinely want to learn to play ukulele and you're coming from guitar and you're not like actively thinking of like I want to learn how to play guitalele, then I would just buy an ukulele.
I think
Yeah.
that's like, you know, I think some people feel like we're like attacking them because we kind of mentioned their situation. But we hear about that a lot, right? Where it's like a guitar center and they go to it and they say, I want to play a ukulele. And the guys at Guitar Center say, you should play a baritone ukulele.
Yeah, you should play.
Yeah.
Or you should play guitar,
right?
Yeah.
And it's like, the reason why we're kind of against that is because they're not trying to sell you those things because it actually is better for you. Usually, they're trying to sell it to you because it's instruments that they're familiar with, right? They're familiar with the guitar, so they can play, they can really shred on these instruments and be like, oh, look at how easy it is. But when it comes to regular ukulele, they have a little bit of harder time. So
I mean, you've no idea like how many private students I have. They're like, oh, I took a lesson at like Guitar Center, and the guitar player told me to do this. I was like, okay, cool. Undo everything like that you learned.
Clear
Let's just
cache.
Clear. Empty bin. Move to trash, empty bin.
Sorry.
You know, like it's. I'm sorry, but there's a lot of students that come up and just be like, you know, this is how I play, because I'm usually like, okay, well, show me like what we're working with so I can kind of see where we're at. And I'm like, why do you do it like this? And they're like, oh, the guy, I took lessons, you know, like for I don't know, like months or something. And they're like, you know, like it was a guitar player, or it was a whatever at the local, you know, local music shop. And it's just like, oh, that makes sense, you know? And then, like, I mean, I'm not, like, knocking on people and stuff. It's just one of those that you can't approach the two instruments the same exact way. Yes, there are similarities to, you know, to the two instruments, but it's not the same. Like, form, first and foremost, not the same, like, at all. You know, like, it'll share some similarities, but it's not the same. There's, you know, and form-wise, there's, like, so many ways to play a guitar. You know, like I've seen classic guitar players like hold their ukulele. I say ukulele all the time. Hold their guitars a certain way. I've seen like electric guitar players, you know, like hold their guitars a certain way, and they have different form. Like from even just like jazz players to punk, you know, punk music to I don't know, to rock and roll. Everybody holds it kind of different. Same thing with the ukulele. You know, you can hold it differently and stuff, but some of those ways that you're holding the guitar just doesn't work for the ukulele. Just straight up, you know, like you can make music with it and stuff, but like if you want to move on to the next level, you know, like if you want to take your ukulele playing to the next level, then there's definitely some form that you have to work on that'll lead you to other techniques or to more advanced things. If you just want to just strum and stuff, by all means, whatever, like a simple like YouTube, you know, tutorial will work. Will tell you how to make noise with an ukulele. But if you want to learn how to play it properly, there's definitely going to be some work involved, you know?
Yeah. Like I think we have nothing against like guitaleles or baritone, or like if you want to try them out and play them and stuff. But I think it's just try not to buy into the people who say you should start off with a baritone or if you're thinking about getting a ukulele, get a baritone first or get a guitalele first. It's like if your end goal is ukulele, just go with ukulele.
Let's go to ukulele. And I mean, like, we're not, like Kahai said, we're not saying they're, you know, like, they're bad. Because I have there's a GL6 right there. You know, we're totally not against them or anything. And I use baritone a lot. And, like, the play-alongs and stuff that we've had, I use a lot of baritones. So it's not like there's no place for them. But like Kahai said, if you're learning uke, go learn the uke.
It's like we just don't want people to be get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Because like they might not know as much about ukulele or baritones or like
Or
what's
just-
the difference.
yeah.
So yeah. Just be careful, guys.
All right, Kahai. So I don't know if you want to do one last question, but it's two already, where we're kind of past our time.
Yeah. We have like a lot of
any-
questions in the chat, so maybe we'll save them for next time.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of next time, great segue. I am not going to be here next week, Friday, and for all of you UU Plus subscribers, I'm also not going to be here for Monday, Tuesday for private lessons, and also Friday for the Ukulele Underground live coaching. So I will be over in Hollywood. There's a Bob's Burgers movie premiere that I will be attending, and I'm so stoked and very, very, very excited. And you guys can tell how excited I am because this month here on Ukulele Underground we had the theme from Bob's Burgers, and we did a full lesson and tutorial on the full song. A lot of people just tend to just kind of play what was on the show, but not a lot of people know that there's like a B and a C section, to that song. And we definitely taught all of it with all the right chords. We went by the book on that one, Kahai. Like I wanted to, there was lots of questions today, and I kind of want to talk about it a little bit because me and you, we collaborated on this, Kahai, right? So. We can talk for like maybe 10 more minutes, but I really want to ask you some questions in that because I listened to let's start this off by the Bob's Burgers theme was written and performed by Lauren Bouchard. Yeah, like the show's creator, and he definitely put a lot of cool sounds and little things that he hid in the in the mix and in the music. And I was listening to this podcast where he talks about how that song came to be and all the little things that he put inside. How close to it did you try to get? Because you basically Kahai recorded everything. I just put ukulele in there. Like that's all I did. It's Kahai's track for the most part. So I feel like you should get the proper credit for that, Kahai, because you did an awesome job.
Oh. Yeah, I have a program that can like split the track into like bass, drums, and other things. I basically laid it down, and then I'm like, okay, I'm copying note for note. This is what the bass is playing. Copying like note for note. This is kind of what the drums are playing. So yeah, I tried to get as close, and I listened to that's like Song Exploder, the podcast that Lauren Bouchard talks about.
Yes,
making the track. And even like he gives like little demos like, oh, this is the original recording of like the piano. So I just like listen to it like. I kind of have a piano that sounds like that. I have a xylophone that I can make sound like that.
Did you put the bowed bass in there? There's like a secret sauce in the original recording of a bowed bass.
Yeah. So the two things that I did not put in was a bowed bass, and then he said he kept the original like it's a tom and snare, that he originally did.
And then the guy just like recorded over it like the real drums, but he kept the original in there. It's kind of cool. Like I'm sure we'll put the link on the show notes and stuff that you guys can check out. But I had a lot of fun, and that's a it sounds simple, and he makes like I just made a simple whatever on the ukulele and the simple song, but it's actually kind of complicated. Like towards the end there, it gets weird, and some of those chords that he goes to are not chords that I would normally go to. So I was kind of stoked to have the music on that one because I know because we did an earlier take on the Bob's Burgers intro, which is done on whiteboard request, right, Kahai? And we tried our best on that one, and it works. If you follow that, if you learn the intro theme from that, it still works. It sounds pretty close. But this time we went like legit and went by the book, exactly like how the notes are and the chords and even what the chords are called and stuff. And I think it sounds pretty cool. I mean, that is exactly how he's playing it. I talked to Lauren and I'm like, hey man, that song, there's some pretty complicated rhythms that you did there towards the end. He's like, I don't know. He's like, I haven't checked the music, so I don't even know if that's what I'm playing. I was like, don't say that. Because I'm about to tell the audience, I'm like, we did it by the book. But he's like, yeah, that is what I played. But
somebody else checked.
But it was cool, and it was really nice of Mr. Bouchard to do a really heartfelt intro to to the lesson, and there's a small snippet of it at the end of the play along. But if you guys watch the full tutorial, there's like the full message that he said, and it was really nice. Because I just like, hey, Mr. Bouchard, can you just could we get a quick intro from you? Like just can you just say like, hey, there's ukulele on the grounds, whatever, of Bob's Burgers. You can even say like, I haven't seen it. Just go do your thing or whatever. But he did a really nice a really nice intro to it, that when I watched it, I had to like show it to my wife, like, check this out, look what he said about us. He's like super nice. And he's very funny. He's a very funny dude,
Yeah.
And it's really cool. So this leads to what you're about to put out, Kahai, and why I'm dressed this way. I tried to pull one of those where like I don't address it until it's time to address it.
Wait, you mean you're not dressed as Mickey Mouse?
No,
What?
Bugs Bunny. Dude.
Bugs Bunny? Wait, what's going on?
Bugs
You're
Bunny.
dressed as something else? What?
Yeah.
What?
So what are you putting out in a couple of days, Kai?
Yeah, in a couple of days it's gonna be the solo, and the solo is Bad Stuff Happens in the Bathroom.
It's also a song from Bob's Burgers. It's a duet with Bob and Louise. So we did like we did a tutorial on that. You can play both parts separate, and then I did like a loop thing so that they can kind of sing both at the same time, because it's a really nice melody. If you guys haven't checked it out, it was featured on their episode 100. And it's a song called Bad Stuff Happens in the Bathroom. My kid loves it. She's like obsessed with that song now. But yeah, is it hard? Is it challenging, Kahai? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of it that are challenging, but just take your time and you can learn it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually part of my set on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, like I'm also playing for playing music for those people that created Bob's Burgers. So I'm like not nervous at all. Like I'm kind of I'm anxious and kind of nervous. I don't think I've played a corporate gig this big before, but they're super nice people, and I'm sure they'll be nice with however many mistakes I make that night, or at least I hope.
Karina in the chat asked, "How are you involved with Bob's Burgers?"
Well, I know Lauren Bouchard, which is the creator of Bob's Burgers. I don't know how much I can say and stuff, but that's all I'll say.
Involved.
Yeah, loosely involved. Let's just say that. Was that Kai?
Oh, I was gonna say we've had the chance to kind of hang out with him. Like Lauren has come down to Kauai, and we've went to your guys' show, and we got to hang out with him. And he's a great guy. He's just like super nice.
Super nice guy, nice family. And also like some of the other people there as well. Like I've met Nora Smith, and she's awesome. She's an executive producer. We met Kelvin Yu. He's come down to Kauai, and also Bernard.
Player.
Also ukulele player. Bernard Derriman also, that also an executive producer of the movie and stuff. A bunch of them are like just fans of of ukulele or just Hawaii in general, and they're super nice. And I've worked with them to do the Simpsons intro, and let's see, how can I put? I've worked with Lauren on teaching ukulele, like just showing good approaches to ukulele. Let's just say that. So I've given lessons to Mr. Bouchard, and so that's how I'm, I guess, involved with the Bob's Burgers team. It's just in that very, very, very small capacity, I'm just a big fan. Really, that's like, let's just say that. Can we just say that? I was a huge Bob's Burgers fan, and it's all thanks to Kahai. He's just like, you should check out the show called Bob's Burgers. And I just got, just like with everything else, like I just get obsessed with things, And Kahai knows this. And I don't know why he shows me things, because I have a very obsessive personality, and I just get obsessed with things. And it's and I will try to get as far with whatever I'm into or whatever hobby. And for this one in particular, I just got super lucky, and I got I got introduced to all these nice people. Because even with say Kahai introduced me to cardistry, and then next thing I know, I'm talking to Zach Mueller, who makes Fontaine. It's oh, Kahai, I don't know how I get so lucky sometimes, but it's really just luck. That's all I'll say. I'm a big Bob's Burgers fan, and and lucky enough they're big ukulele fans as well. So there's a common thread there. Yeah.
It's actually my sister was the one who got me into Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
So I was telling her Aldrina's gonna like go to
Go
the
to the premiere.
and she's like, that is like crazy.
It's insane. Like I pinch myself, and like me and my wife are just like, we're huge fans, and I've even like put Bob's Burgers as one of the lyrics on the songs that I wrote, and in an album and a song that I've done and stuff. That's how big of a fan I am, and so is my wife, and that's why I like to have Aaron like animate my family with the Bob's intro. That's like a dream come true, and it's just like the most trippiest thing ever because I couldn't do something like that, so Aaron has made that dream come true. And I don't know, I just got lucky being surrounded by some awesome people, and yeah, that's all it is. I'm a huge fan of Bob's Burgers, and they're just super cool people to just talk music with, or just talk in general. They're super nice, right, Kai?
Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to the Bob's Burgers team over at Bento Box and Fox and stuff. They're really awesome. I say Fox because I also did that Simpsons thing, and they were like super nice when I did that. Yeah. So check out Bob's Burgers movie May 27. We're not at all like paid to say any of this stuff. We're just big fans. May 27, Bob's Burgers movie. Check it out, Memorial Day. If you guys haven't seen Bob's Burgers, it's on Hulu. Full episodes are over at Hulu. It's fun. It has ukulele all over it. Okay, so just check it out. Give it a chance. If you like stuff like The Simpsons, it's definitely with it cut in the same cloth. And Lauren Bouchard has been involved in other things like home movies and Dr. Katz, if you guys can remember that far back and stuff. So he's got a great track record of awesome shows. If you haven't checked out Bob's Burgers, if you lived on the Rock for some reason, make sure you check it out. Ukulele is all over that, and it's great music.
Yeah,
he writes some great stuff. I know he doesn't write everything, but just the staff writes some awesome music for that.
It's
show.
like I think people might think like, oh, it's good for like a cartoon, but
Yeah.
like no, it's just a good TV show and it's good music.
Yeah, they're also involved in stuff like I think The Great North and Central Park, with Apple TV and stuff. So those they've got like Emmys up the yin yang. So it's a great show. Okay, I don't think they need us plugging it in any way.
Yeah.
It has our guarantee. Fresh.
Yeah.
Certified fresh.
Just like Boy with Uke. This week it's Bob's Burgers.
Yeah. Just letting you guys know. The
cool
cool
thing
show.
that's been around for like 12, 13 seasons.
Cool new show.
Do you guys know this like a little animated project? It's really good.
Animated
Yeah.
project.
So make sure you check it out. May 27, the movie comes out. We're huge fans. We're very excited. And also in a couple of days we have we have Bad Stuff Happens in the Bathroom, an ukulele solo of a Bob's Burgers song, another Bob's Burgers song. So all right, make sure you guys check that out. I won't be here next week. The following week will be Aloha Friday Live Jam, Kahai.
Yeah.
That's the kind of schedule we go by, right? So we don't skip stuff. So the next time you see us will be next Friday. What's the date on that, Kahai? 27?
Yep.
Hey, that's when the movie comes out. So May 27, we'll be back. Aloha Friday Live Jam. See you guys there. If you're a UU Plus subscriber, stick around for UU Plus live coaching, where I'll show you guys how to get unstuck. If you have any questions, if you're working on anything, show me what you're working on. I'll be glad to help you folks. That's at 2:20 in just a few short minutes. We'll see you there, okay? Have a great one. Enjoy your weekend. Aloha, everybody.